Hello friends, it's Daryl, and today we're going to change the thermostat on the 2008 Ford Escape with the 3.0 V6. Come along and let's get this done. Show you how easy it can be to do it yourself. First thing we're going to do is get a bucket and drain the cooling system. There's a drain plug on the bottom of the radiator we're going to open, and then we're going to come up on top. We're going to remove the battery. You don't really have to remove the battery, but I like to make things easier. So you're going to take out the hold down strap, which is a 10mm. You're going to remove the two battery cables, which are 8mm, and set the battery aside. Next, we're going to remove the full air cleaner assembly, the outer part of it. There you go. That sits down there. You got the two clamps on top. You've got the PVC hose that goes here, which is right here. I just tucked that aside. You just twist this little tab on the side clockwise and pop it right up and off. Once you get that, you release these two 8mm screws on the hose clamps, and the whole snorkel assembly comes right out in your hand, and you're going to set that aside. So now that gives us unfettered access to where we need to be, which is the thermostat housing on these, which is right down here. The upper radiator hose that comes down here, and we don't actually have to remove that, but we're going to. It's this one spring clip right here. We're going to remove that because the thermostat housing is right below that. And let me get my pointer here so I can show you what we're talking about. The actual thermostat housing has three 8mm bolts that hold it on. You can see one on the top left, one on the top right, and the other one's directly in the center on the bottom. And the bottom one will be able to reach down right through the front here and take that off, because we're also going to take off this bottom radiator hose that goes there. A lot of hoses on these 3-liter V6s. A little PB blaster on them. The thermostat is right behind that cover plate where those three bolts are. Got the top hose off and the bottom hose off. I went ahead and pulled the connector plug off that junction down there too, to give me more room to get my hand in there, because that bottom screw is giving me a little trouble getting it out. I went ahead and took the whole part out to show you guys, to make it easier for you, so you can see the location of the bolts. The two on top right there, and then the one kind of offset to the right on the bottom. And what I did, I made a little mistake when I was taking it apart. I took the two top bolts out totally, and then I tried to take the bottom out. It wouldn't come out for nothing. Even hit it with a little impact wrench, it wouldn't come out. So my son Dan, who's absolutely brilliant sometimes, says, look, it's probably binding because there's no tension on the top anymore. He had run the top ones back down, and then see if the bottom one would come out, and it came right out. It was binding because the top ones were totally loose. So when you get ready to do these, loosen them a little bit, all three of them, before you totally loosen them. And when you put it back together, make sure the bypass hole in your thermostat is facing totally straight upwards. And then what I did is I took the bolts and put them on the bench grinder and cleaned the threads up real good. Put a little dab of anti-seize on each one, and I sprayed the hose fittings with dry slide, dry lubricant. And this doesn't feel like it's brittle or anything. It's nice and firm, no cracks visible. So we're going to reuse this. This whole body part here is available at AutoZone. It's like $125, but you can get it on Amazon for $55. I'll put a link to that in the video. I'll also put a link to just this cover plate here in case you need that, along with the thermostat and the gasket for it. And we didn't even really need the cover plate. All we needed was a thermostat and gasket. It's actually an O-ring, but when you pull it out, it's compressed a lot and it looks like a tapered gasket, but it's actually just an O-ring. So there you go. This is pretty darn easy. It wasn't too much extra work to pull it all the way out. There were two more hoses that came in from the left side with spring clamps on them. One on the top of the rear that came off. I think that was for the heater core. And then I also pulled off the cooling hoses for the throttle body because they were kind of in the way. It made it a lot easier. Just took a few extra minutes to pull the whole thing out. Final product, all back together and secured. Make sure all your hose clamps are back where they belong. If you take the whole thing off, you're going to have 5 hose clamps to make sure you got back on. You've got that connector down low that I took off to make it easier to get to. And then now we've got that back together, all this stuff down low. We're going to put the intake snorkel back on, as well as the mass airflow sensor wire and the PCV hose, which are all just tucked over to the side right now. The hose connector back in place with a little connector on the side. The connector down low there, we put that on right. I showed you that. Push it till it clicks. This one here, you push it till it clicks. This is the airflow sensor, and then you push the red locking tab down. The only thing we have left to do now is the battery, the 2 cables for the battery, and the hold down clamp. And I think we'll be done. We gotta keep an eye on the bleeding of coolant, right?
Yep, so basically heat on, full blast, so the heater core gets all bled out. Add as much as you can, like halfway full.
Take it for a drive.
You can if you want, or just let it idle for a bit and just.
I like driving it because the engine revs up higher and it pumps the fuel and air through quicker, and the air will come out faster that way. But for me, whenever I do something like this, I'm not sure if I got all the air out, I keep a jug of coolant ready to go in the car. So in case the temperature starts to creep up, you can stop the car and pour some in as more air works its way out.
You should have one in your car regardless if you do this job or not.
You really should, but most people don't.
No, they don't.
Just like everybody should have a spare tire and jack, but nowadays people don't feel they need them.
AAA's a thing.
It is, but
you're not recording, so are you?
Yeah. Oh. If your tire is actually destroyed, I don't think AAA can bring you an actual tire and wheel, are they?
No, but there's companies that do it now because there's a big capital market on it.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks for watching.